Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So the last update about the latest upcoming episode of Unfortunate Love was how Neelam vows not to let Rishi marry Lakshmi after Rishi goes to invite everyone at home that he is getting married to Lakshmi. Then Rishi shocked Lakshmi by telling her that they need to choose an auspicious date for their marriage. So let's continue from there. Rishi and Lakshmi are trying to lay the bed. Rishi tells Lakshmi that they have to get their marriage auspicious date taken out. Lakshmi leaves the bedsheet in shock and it falls on Rishi's face. Rishi says, I want to wear the wedding shera and not the bedsheet. Lakshmi says sorry and she asks that what did Rishi said. Rishi says to Lakshmi that I said that our marriage auspicious day needs to be taken out and I have invited everyone at home for our marriage. Lakshmi says I did not agree to the marriage yet. Then why did you invite everyone? Rishi says we have to marry someday because I know you will agree someday. Lakshmi asks Rishi to go to sleep. Rishi says it is 8:30 p.m. and they should talk. Lakshmi asks him to go and sleep. Rishi asks Lakshmi to say good night. Lakshmi says good night and she rests to sleep. Rishi wonders when Lakshmi would agree to marry him and says that they will not get sleep at 8:30 p.m. so they should switch off the light, and Rishi switches off the light to sleep. Malishka comes to the kitchen and asks Mukesh if the prasad is ready. Mukesh gives her the prasad. Malishka takes the bowl and goes to the temple. Mukesh thinks that Lakshmi's sister-in-law used to make prasad with a lot of devotion, but Malishka wants already made prasad. Malishka thinks that she cannot do this puja every day, and she thinks that she is doing this drama just to be good in Neelam's eyes, and once she marries Rishi, then she will not do all this. Lakshmi and Rishi are working in their neighborhood. Lakshmi tells Rishi that they have to change the rice she bought earlier because it is small grain. Rishi is escorting Lakshmi and they see a guy colliding with a girl and then scolding the girl. The girl says sorry to the guy and the guy is about to slap the girl. But Lakshmi interferes and she asks why the guy is raising hand on the girl when the girl had already said sorry. Some neighbor gossip that this girl Lakshmi came to stay here recently and she doesn't know who Kapil is. That is the guy that was about to slap the small girl. The neighbor says that if Lakshmi knows who Kapil is, then she will not dare to argue with him. Kapil asks Lakshmi why she is interfering. Rishi asks Kapil to talk to Lakshmi with manners, and Kapil said this is my manners, and he asks Rishi to keep his manners to himself. Rishi asks Kapil to apologize to Lakshmi. Lakshmi asks Kapil to go and she tells Rishi not to fight with him. Kapil says you are asking me to go and he asks them to go instead. Lakshmi asks Rishi to go to the office and says these things happens here daily. Rishi asks Lakshmi to go home and take care and he goes to the office while Kapil also leaves angrily. Lakshmi hears the ladies talking that Kapil is going to take revenge and Lakshmi wondered what they mean. Malishka comes to the room and says, until when will I do this? Waking up early in the morning to do puja. She says, if I don't do this, then Neelam auntie will get upset and says, I am here because of Neelam auntie. She says, I have hope that Rishi will return because I am here. She thinks to sleep for some time and she rests on the bed. Karishma comes there and sees Malishka sleeping. She says, Malishka slept again. Malishka gets up and says, Auntie, you are here. Karishma asks if Malishka is fine and Malishka says yes. She says she is afraid, thinking if she will marry Rishi. She says Rishi used to shout and says that he loves me before, but now he has left me to be with Lakshmi. Malishka tells Karishma that she had gone to drop Rishi at his house and says that he is living in a place where there are just walls and the place is so horrible. But Rishi is still happy with Lakshmi there, planning on what to eat and doing like a servant for Lakshmi. Karishma says to Malishka that Rishi is going to return soon and she reminds Malishka of Neelam's words and Malishka says she remember auntie, but Karishma asks Malishka to call her Bua and not auntie because they are family now and Malishka says yes Bua and she smiles. Lakshmi comes home and she asks herself that why did Rishi fought with that guy. She says that guy had done a mistake and he was fighting, but Rishi shouldn't have fought with him. She says they should not fight with anyone here, but Rishi is short-tempered. Shalu calls Lakshmi and asks if anything is missing in the house, and Lakshmi says yes. Shalu asks Lakshmi that what does she need, because she remembered that they bought everything that was needed, and she asks her to talk. Lakshmi says she is missing her sisters, and says that she is alone here, and she wished that her sisters should have been here with her. She says that she has never lived alone before. First, she used to live with her parents and her sisters, and then she used to be with the Obre family, but now she is alone. Lakshmi says to Shalu that she is thinking to go for a job tomorrow. Shalu asks Lakshmi not to worry and says they will come and visit her. Grandma is in the car and she asks the driver if he knows the way to Rishi's house. The driver says yes and says that he went with Mr. Virendra and drivers don't forget ways. Grandma says you are right and she thinks that Rishi said that he will marry soon and she thinks if Lakshmi agreed to the marriage, then it is okay. Else I have to make Lakshmi understand. Mukesh asks Malishka what to make for dinner. Malishka asks him to ask Neelam. Mukesh says Neelam asked me to ask you. Malishka thinks of what to do. She thinks if I should be happy that I am getting this important to decide what the family will eat, or if I should be sad because Rishi is not here. She says to Mukesh that she will tell him later and she asks him to go and Mukesh leaves. Ayush comes there and tells Malishka that he will drop her at home because there's no point for her to stay here. Malishka asks, really? Ayush says now that Rishi and Lakshmi are getting married, then what is your need here? Malishka asks what was Lakshmi's need here when Rishi and I were about to marry and even Lakshmi was staying here. Malishka asks, did you ask Lakshmi what is her need here or did you misbehave with her also? Ayush asks Malishka that who told you that you were getting married to Rishi? He says Rishi and your destinies are not related. He says when Rishi gets married to Lakshmi, then I will dance and you should also dance. Malishka says if Ayush was not Karishma's son, then she would have pulled his tongue. Neelam is sitting on a rocking chair and she thinks of Rishi's words and how Rishi left the house with Lakshmi. Karishma comes there and asks, did you think of what to do to bring Rishi back home? Neelam says yes, she has thought of something and says Rishi would never marry Lakshmi because I would throw Lakshmi very far away from here. Neelam says to Karishma that I will do anything to make sure that Rishi doesn't marry Lakshmi because I have given swear to Malishka to get her married to Rishi, so I will not go back on my word. Karishma asks that what plan have you made? Neelam says I will give what Lakshmi wants to her and then everything will be sorted. Karishma says Lakshmi wants Rishi and she asks Neelam that what is really her plan. Malishka says to Ayush that your plan to dance at Rishi and Lakshmi's marriage will never be fulfilled because Rishi and Lakshmi will never marry. Ayush says they will marry and I will dance and I will make you dance as well. Malishka reminds Ayush of Neelam mommy's words and says she is the daughter-in-law of the house. Ayush asks Malishka to call Neelam as auntie and not mommy because she is dreaming. Malishka challenged Ayush and says only time will tell who will become Ayush's sister-in-law between her and Lakshmi and says I will make you dance on my tune when I marry Rishi. Ayush says it is good to see dreams, but try and see a dream that can come true. Malishka says challenge accepted and she leaves while Ayush dances thinking of Rishi and Lakshmi's marriage. Grandma comes to Lakshmi's locality with the driver. The ladies around gossip that since when these two tenants got here, big cars has been coming to their neighborhood and says they might be from a rich house and that is why people in big cars come here. Grandma comes down from the car and walks towards Rishi's house. At the office, Virendra calls Rishi. Rishi comes there and calls Virendra sir while putting his hand behind his back as if he is talking to his boss. Virendra smiles and says he will slap Rishi if he calls him sir again. Rishi says you can slap me, but my mom is not here to save me. Virendra says you had come home and you announced your marriage with Lakshmi. Rishi says mom might have been hurt because of that, right? Virendra asks if Lakshmi agreed for the marriage and Rishi looks on. Grandma comes inside Rishi's house and looks around. Lakshmi gets happy to see Grandma and she hugs her. Grandma looks at Lakshmi and gets emotional. Lakshmi says she missed Grandma. Grandma says she missed Lakshmi more and she asks that how is she? Lakshmi asks Grandma to sit and says they don't have much household stuff and they are just managing. Grandma says to Lakshmi that what you have here in your house cannot be found anywhere else. She says this house might be empty, but it has peace, happiness, and also Lakshmi. Grandma looks at the house and she thinks that Lakshmi made this place as her home so soon, and she had already put life into the place within just a few days. Lakshmi gives Grandma water. Grandma thanks her and drinks the water. Lakshmi asks Grandma to tell her how she is and how is everyone. Grandma asks Lakshmi to agree to her sayings and says she is tired of the short name Grandma because now she wants to be called as grandmother-in-law. Lakshmi says Rishi came to announce marriage to you all and says Rishi is a big drama queen. Grandma says to Lakshmi that Rishi is my grandson and he will be like me. She says I want my name to be grandmother-in-law And she asked Lakshmi that when is she making her become grandmother-in-law. She says Rishi had come home and said that he will marry soon, and says if you agree to marry Rishi, then don't delay. She asks if Lakshmi did not agree yet, and Lakshmi looks on. Virendra tells Rishi that Grandma feels that Lakshmi did not agree to marry him yet. Rishi says he felt that Lakshmi would agree soon. Virendra tells Rishi that both Lakshmi and Neelam are stubborn and Lakshmi might not agree easily. Lakshmi says to Grandma that I will make tea and breakfast for you. Grandma says don't change the topic because I understood that you did not agree to marry Rishi yet. Grandma says to Lakshmi that Rishi left his house and his mother for you because he loves you and he wants to marry you. She says life is waiting for your new start and she asks her to marry Rishi soon. Grandma says I know that you love Rishi too and she asks her to realize his love and marry him. Grandma says to Lakshmi that both you and Rishi should unite soon and says we want you to marry Rishi and unite soon because your marriage and unity will bring smile and peace to a lot of people. She asks Lakshmi to agree to marry Rishi and says you would agree, right? And Lakshmi looks on. Okay, so here is the clip of where Rishi was fighting with the guy Kapil. But I'm thinking that this guy is definitely going to be another villain in this series. I am thinking, this is just my personal thinking. So because Rishi fought with him and they will still meet again. So I think they're trying to bring this guy into this series as another villain that will be around Rishi and Lakshmi in their new home. So let's just wait and watch and see how that unfolds. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.